The Auburn Doubledays looking for a series sweep in what seems like a very long time after a 5-1 win in Game 2 against the State College Spikes. I'm Claudia Balafato, joined by JD Rachi. JD, a pretty low-scoring game last night until the 6th, and then the Doubledays just got into that rhythm that they've been looking for.
That's exactly what they've been looking for, and Jake Randa, it was huge for him to be the propelling force to get Auburn into the swing of things and have them score 4 runs between the 6th and the 7th inning. He hits a 2-run shot over the right field fence, has a fantastic day yesterday. That was his first extra base hit in almost a month, since all the way back on July 13th against the Lowell Spinners. He had been really struggling, sputtering a little bit, not hitting the baseball for power like he did at the beginning of the season, like he did at Northwest Florida State when he was playing JUCO ball this year. But this is the reason that the Nationals wanted him so bad and paid him $300,000 in the 13th round. That is way, way above slot value. Jake Randa is super talented. He's been getting on base at a decent clip, but the power had definitely gone down since that July 13th game. His slugging percentage had gone down almost 100 points, and for a guy that was a little bit known for the power stroke, seeing him get back into that could be a sign of good things to come for Auburn.
And he had said after the game how he knew he was kind of in a rut, so to get things back on track feels good for him, I'm sure, as well as Neomar Gomez, who had his first win on the mound in over a month. So he was kind of in the same situation, not really playing where he wanted to, and then he had a 7 strikeout performance last night.
We saw Ace Neomar for the first time in a long, long time. He had given up 14 runs in his last 2 games, 9 of them earned. That was after giving up less than that in his first 6 starts combined, so he was really sputtering. His ERA, so Jake Randa's slugging percentage went down. Neomar Gomez ERA had gone up by almost a run and a half in the last 3 outings he had had. A couple of them on the road, a couple of them here at home. He hadn't been necessarily the dominant ace stuff that we had seen through much of the season. And like Jack said yesterday on pregame, we know the fastball is going to be there. We know the fastball is going to be 93, and he's going to locate it well. For Neomar, it's all about those secondary pitches, the curveball, the changeup, things of that variety, and the breaking ball looked really, really good yesterday. North to south, great movement, great location, didn't leave him hanging. He made the one mistake, gave up a leadoff homer to Moises Castillo in the first inning, but then seeing him take a deep breath and say, okay, I'm good, it's all right, I'm going to settle back in and get going again. It was good to see him have some resiliency, see him have some bounce back ability in this ball game and on the season as a whole. He's now moving in a positive direction for the Doubledays.
Which I think kind of trickles down to the rest of the team, because we saw strength in the bullpen as well. After he had left the game, Chu and Jankowski came in on relief, combined for 4 scoreless innings, and I think that's going to be huge moving forward to keep this ball rolling. Most
definitely. The problem this season has been, at the beginning of the year, the starters were not great. Then the bullpen was really, really good at the beginning of the season. Bullpen was absolutely shut down. Then the starters started getting a lot better, but the bullpen kind of started trickling down in the wrong direction. Now it's starting to even out ever so slightly. The starters' ERA is still a little bit higher than the bullpen ERA. You'd like to see them more even and both of them low. But the fact that we're now getting a good start from Neomar Gomez, then you're getting good outings from Gilberto Chu and Tyler Jankowski, that's a good positive sign of things to come for Auburn. They just have to keep the momentum rolling, keep things going in the right direction. That's the name of the game right now for this team. And as we talked about, it was a huge game for Gomez. I got a chance to talk with him about that experience last night. Here with Neomar Gomez and Onyx Vega translating for us tonight. Thank you, Onyx. Neomar, you had a 7 strikeout performance last night, your first win on the mound in over a month. How was that comeback for you?
Tuviste una ganada de sobre 7 ponches, ganaste ayer, no había ganado hace un mes. ¿Cómo te sientes después de venir y poder hacer eso?
Me siento bien, gracias a Dios. Bueno, nada más hay que hacer trabajo, seguir trabajando y pensar en lo positivo.
He feels so good to get back in the track, and he thanks God because he keep working hard and getting all stuff done.
What part of your pitching game have you been working on in particular to get back on track?
¿En qué parte del picheo has trabajado últimamente para poder volver a ser?
¿En qué parte?
Sí, ¿qué has trabajado?
En quedarme mi pierna atrás para poder soltar el picheo un poco más adelante.
He's been working on staying on his legs so he can be delivering the ball in front.
You guys are looking for the sweep tonight, which you haven't done in quite a while. How important would this win be for the team?
Hace tiempo no hemos ganado la serie completa a un equipo. Hoy sería la primera vez de hace tiempo. ¿Qué sería para ti y para el equipo?
Bueno, para mí no solamente, es para todo el equipo. Sería algo especial porque tenemos una caída muy difícil. Y ya con estas 3 ganadas que podemos tener con hoy, podemos seguir adelante y seguir confiando.
He say it's gonna be way good for us because we were struggling lately, but this win's gonna take us up again and hopefully we can win.
Best of luck to you guys tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A big game for Gomez last night after a past rough 2 outings. Looking forward to the rest of the season for him. Let's get into tonight's lineup in Game 3 of this series. Aruda, who sealed the deal for the Doubledays in Game 1, and 3-hole Senior, who had the hit to put the Doubledays on the board in the first last night. And on the mound, we have Carlos Romero. What do you see from him tonight?
I just think he's one of the more consistent guys on this team. He had the injury, and ever since he came back from that injury after he got hit on a bouncing ground ball back up the middle against State College, actually, down in Pennsylvania a couple of weeks ago, really a couple of months ago at this point, he's been really good in his last couple of outings. He's been consistent. He's not going to overpower you. He's not going to put up these masterful numbers, although he has had high strikeout numbers at times this season. He's not going to overpower you. He's just going to place his pitches, and he's going to play to his defense. We've seen the Auburn defense at times struggle this season in terms of errors, but more often than not, they make the plays they need to make. They make the plays, and they make some of the fantastic plays as well. Jake Randa had a fantastic play yesterday. He's had a couple of fantastic plays defensively over the last couple of days. Caldioli Sanclair is a great defender. Landerson Pena, who's in the lineup tonight, he is a great defender as well in terms of his arm strength. So if he pitches to weak contact and he pitches his way and pitches to the defense behind him and he lets them go to work and lets them help him get out of innings, then he should have success tonight.
Who do you see on the lineup tonight as having a big part of if they do sweep the series in this win tonight?
I like JT Aruda in the middle of this lineup. I think he's been swinging a good bat lately. He's struggled at times this season in terms of getting on base outside of walks, but the ability to draw those walks and the ability to have timely hits, like he had the 2-run single in Game 1 of this series, I think he has the ability to make a difference toward the top of the lineup. We've seen him top of the lineup, bottom of the lineup, all kinds of parts of the lineup, and he's hit consistently in all of those spots. Now it's just a matter of putting it all together as that left-handed bat in the 3-hole tonight. We'll see what he brings, but I think he's got a pretty good chance of making an impact.
The third and final game of the series against the State College Spikes here at Falcon Park. This is your Auburn Doubledays pregame show brought to you by Cayuga Community College. I'm Claudia Balafato, joined by JD Rachi. Don't forget to listen to all of the action on FingerLakes1.com.